All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the 4th annual Youth Pitch Challenge with Denver Startup Week, and thank you for joining us at the 11th annual Denver Startup Week, the largest free entrepreneurial event of its kind. We'd also like to thank our title sponsor, Amazon, Capital One, Dell for Startups, and Downtown Denver Partnership. This session is part of the Spotlight track, sponsored by Chase and Southwest Rapid Rewards, one of 8 programming tracks aimed at supporting the entire entrepreneurial team. We'd also like to thank all of the other sponsors who have made this session and all of the rest of Denver Startup Week sessions possible. By attending this session, you're agreeing to follow our code of conduct, as well as to being photographed or recorded on video. Be sure to share your experience at this session at hashtag Den Startup Week, hashtag YA Center, and hashtag Young Entrepreneurs. Okay, now that that's out of the way, my name is Anna Lear. I'm the Vice President of Youth Biz with Young American Center for Financial Education. We provide financial literacy education for young people all over the state of Colorado and beyond. Youth Biz is our Center for Entrepreneurship Education, and we really are all about providing real-life hands-on experiences in entrepreneurship. Young American Center has partnered with the Downtown Denver Partnership since 2017 to provide youth-focused programming here at Denver Startup Week. This programming has 2 goals. First of all, to provide young business owners access to the startup culture in Denver. And second of all, to expose this startup ecosystem to these talented young entrepreneurs. Talented young entrepreneurs now have a pathway to compete with the adult startup community. The youth-run businesses competing today have gone through rigorous vetting, practicing, preparation to be here representing their ventures. The winning business will move on to compete on Thursday at the Denver Startup Week pitch finale, where the top 9 businesses in Denver are going to be competing for the title. So this is a really exciting opportunity for these businesses. Before we introduce our judges, I want to outline the structure of the session today. Each group will be given 7 minutes to present, followed by 5 minutes of questions from our judges. We will be timing, so you'll see a yellow sign in the back when you've got 2 minutes to go, and then a red sign when time is up. We're going to allow 2 minutes of transition between business presentations. After our businesses have had a chance to present, we'll ask the judges to deliberate in order to decide on the winner for the afternoon. Audience members are encouraged to stay afterward to meet our young entrepreneurs, talk with them, learn about their businesses, and network. All right, let's go ahead and meet our judges. First, we have Aymara Rodriguez. She's a Honduran-American business strategist and content creator based in Denver, Colorado. She has a diverse background working at the intersection of startups, tech, and products. Her expertise lies in business operations, partnership development, and product strategy. Currently, Aymara builds platform partnerships at Adobe, where she focuses on cultivating and unifying the Creative Cloud platform. Prior to joining Adobe, Aymara served as the vice president of brand strategy at Ally, a co-working startup where she was a founding employee. Aymara is actively involved with Latinas in Tech and is a chapter lead for the Denver area. She also runs an online content series called The Spotlight, which brings together creatives and entrepreneurs to discuss topics such as identity, equality, opportunity, and creativity. Through her work, she aims to cultivate opportunities and create spaces for other women and men of color to lead, thrive, and be heard. And our judges are in the back, so Aymara, welcome. Our next judge is Julian Bush. Julian started his career as the second sales employee at a healthcare startup in which he helped to grow that team to 45 before leaving for his true passion, early stage investing. He was a senior investment analyst for Tech Coast Angels, specifically focused on life science and biotech startups. After Tech Coast Angels, he followed his wife to Denver, where he worked for GAN, Global Accelerator Network, on sourcing startups for corporate innovation pilots. He currently leads growth for the MongoDB for Startups program, and when not focusing his time at MongoDB, he's also one of the directors at Denver Angels, where he looks to find the next great Colorado company to invest in. Welcome, Julian. Next, we have Chris Mendenhall. Chris is executive director and legal administrator for the law firm of Milgram and Dascom. That means that Chris handles everything at the firm except the practice of law. She also serves as co-chair for the professional development committee of the Mile High chapter of the Association of Legal Administrators. Chris has a strong passion for travel, which once prompted her to take her work on the road while living in Europe for a year. While at home in her native Colorado, Chris enjoys skiing, hiking, biking, dancing, and perfecting her language skills in Spanish, Italian, and French. Welcome, Chris. Next, we have Teresa Densmore. Teresa is an experienced social entrepreneur and has a passion for helping others build their dreams through business. Currently, she's the manager of the Commons on Champa, where we are right now, Denver's hub and community for connecting entrepreneurs with programming and resources. Having worked in the nonprofit sector for a decade, Teresa understood the importance of combining business concepts with nonprofit missions to help solve social issues. She attended the University of Denver's Daniels College of Business and earned her MBA in nonprofit strategy. Teresa's worked in nonprofit strategic consulting and social enterprise. She's a 2019 Trout Tank Pitch Competition winner and was awarded the Top Economic Development and Social Justice Enterprise by Colorado Impact Days in 2017. Teresa enjoys taking her 3-year-old on hikes, watching college basketball and hockey, running, skiing, and reading historical fiction. Welcome, Teresa. And last but not least, we have Samantha DeRozier. Samantha is a marketing strategist and SEO consultant who has been enamored with the world of marketing and startup ecosystems for the majority of her adult life. She's the founder and CEO of Sword and Spark, a marketing company which helps small businesses better understand marketing. In addition to her marketing company, Sam is one of 3 partners developing a creative community hub in Pueblo, Colorado, called The Ethos. Sam is an active member of the entrepreneurial community, frequently volunteering her time with World Denver, Denver Startup Week, and co-organizing the monthly meetups of the Denver Founders Network. In 2021, Sam was honored to receive the CSU Pueblo Foundation's Distinguished Young Alumni Award. The prestigious award recognizes 4 alumni annually under the age of 35 who have enhanced the reputation of the university through their outstanding professional achievements, personal accomplishments, and their loyal service to the alma mater and community. Welcome, Sam. There she is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Our first competitor is Anna, and let's bring her out.
Who is someone special in your life? For me, it's my grandma. She taught me how to make handmade greeting cards. She shows me the importance of celebrating people, not just occasions. Grandma spreads joy in everything she does. At Animade, we believe that a thoughtful note can bring a smile to their face. I opened my handmade greeting card shop 3 years ago when I realized that impersonal cards are all too common. This is the mission of my business, to create beautiful handmade cards that they'll treasure forever and keep for a lifetime. The competitive advantage of my shop is really broken up into 3 parts. The first is that my cards are truly handmade instead of printed. A lot of the cards, even from my competitors that are handmade, are like a design or an illustration that can be printed on cards hundreds or thousands of times. The difference in my shop is that my cards are each individually handmade, and are touched by me before they leave the door every single time. The second part of my competitive advantage is the customization options that I offer, especially with birthday cards. So maybe it's the name or the date or the number. This is something that's really great for people, especially shopping on Etsy, because they are looking for that personal touch. And then the third part is social media marketing. And while this definitely isn't something that's unique to my business, in my competitive analysis, I found that a lot of other handmade greeting card makers are not leveraging social media to find new customers. When I first started my shop, I started out with 2 card designs. The first was a tree card for Christmas, and the second was a dog-themed card. Now I've expanded my shop to include more pop-up cards. The one above that is a completely custom card I made for a family. And then the dog card is actually part of my paw collection, which is a collection of cards that I partnered with Animal Rescue of the Rockies, where 25% of the sales of those cards go to support them in their mission. This is Emily. Emily is a teacher in Colorado. She lives in an apartment, and she really wants to celebrate in a more intentional way. While Emily might not be a real person, I have met her in a couple ways. When I sell my cards at in-person shops, I'm able to talk with my customers and ask them what kinds of cards they're looking for and what they appreciate about my shop. I've even had people named Emily order from my shop, and that's something that's really exciting. The handmade greeting card market alone is a $6.2 billion market, and later I'm going to talk about how I plan to get a larger share of that market. And through my Etsy reviews, I've found that there are 3 things that my customers really appreciate about my shop. The first is that personal touch that I include, a handwritten note in each order. The second is that my cards are shipped fast. So instead of making each card to order, I make them in batches, and I'm able to ship them out a lot faster. The third thing is the quality, and that is something that's really important to me as a business owner. In my marketing, I'm really working on 3 things right now. The first, again, is social media marketing, so helping customers find me through short-form videos, especially on Instagram. The second is referrals from people who've bought from me in person. And then the third thing is giveaways in an email list that I do, so whether that's collaborating with other shop owners or doing a Black Friday sale every year. Right now, I have a 63% profit margin, and about 50% of my sales are from bulk and in-person orders. The other 50% is split through Etsy and selling my cards at marketplaces. I found that I have a huge opportunity to expand my Etsy sales through looking at this data. In the beginning, I sold my cards for $2 or $3, and now I have increased my prices from $4 to $5 to $6. And I've realized that there's an opportunity to grow even more with cards, especially that are customized or our pop-up cards, to about $7 or $8 per card. My 1-year goals are first to get my cards in 3 shops in Colorado, second to expand my Etsy presence and sales on there, and then third to experiment with sets of cards to be able to increase my average order value. My 3-year projections. So the first thing I would love to do is create strategic partnerships with realtors and veterinarians and other similar business owners to create cards that are custom to them and personalized, and then sell those cards to them wholesale. This would allow me to sell a larger volume of cards at one time, and is a very attractive offer to these people because they're already using cards. The second thing is leveraging technology to meet and connect with other teen artists and hire them as independent contractors to make cards that are aligned with my brand. This would help me exponentially increase the volume of cards I'm able to make and sell. Today, I'm asking for $22,000. The first $3,000 would be split over that 3 years to pay those independent contractors and help me expand the amount of cards I'm able to sell. The second thing would go to creating a new website, because right now I'm only selling on Etsy, and I want to create a website on Shopify so that first I can reduced my fees from over $1, so about $1.10 right now, to under 50 cents if I'm selling on my own website. It's really important to me to have a website that reflects my brand values of celebration and intention, so I want to really put a lot of thought and effort into this website to make it something that can grow my brand. And then the last $11,000 would go to marketing. About 20% of that would go to Etsy to make that a place where my cards are selling on autopilot. So Etsy is very similar to Amazon in that people are going to this online shop and they're able to see cards or any handmade products from all different types of business owners. So if I'm able to run that on autopilot, I can then focus on building my brand on my own website so that my fees go down and I'm able to sell my cards for longer. Thank you so much. Are there any questions?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
First of all, great presentation.
Thank you.
I loved how you touched on every portion. I'm curious, you mentioned that a lot of your customers purchase bulk orders.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any sort of tiers that people can buy into versus just paying individual cards or purchasing them in bulk?
Yeah, so part of my goal is to increase my prices to about $7 or $8 so that I can have my wholesale prices at about $3.50. But right now, wholesale and bulk orders are still my prices for that are still $4 to $5 because everything is handmade. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay.
Just a follow-up, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Have you gathered any data around like seasonality and what tends to, when you see an uptick of purchases versus like a decline?
Yes. So my Q4 is definitely my biggest amount of sales because of Christmas cards. Valentine's Day and Mother's Day are probably my second biggest holidays. And I'm also just going to pass out some samples of my cards. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
These are beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
The question that came to mind, and I agree, I think you thought through everything, thank you for touching on all the aspects. In terms of your future goals and how you want to grow and build volume, and you said you would consider hiring independent contractors, have you thought of a vetting process or a way to ensure that these independent contractors will reach the quality of work that you're expecting? Have you thought of that?
Yeah, I've lived in a lot of different places. I've moved around, and everywhere that I've lived, I've taught people that I know how to make cards. So I would first start with those 3 contractors as people that I know, maybe people in Colorado, maybe some people in California where I used to live. So I'm teaching them how to make those cards because I've lived in their area, and then I'm confident in their ability to make cards that are to the standards.
Great, thank you.
Kind of following up on that question, have you given much thought to licensing agreement for the art that your 1099 artists are going to be creating, and who would own the rights for that?
Yes, so a lot of my cards are stamped, and that is through something called Stampin' Up. So they have an angel policy where I can make cards with their art. I can sell those cards with their art both on Etsy, online, and in person. I just can't reproduce that art using machine. So that is the special policy for the stamps and pictures that I'm using on my art.
And is that what you have your independent contractors doing as well?
Yes.
Just curious, so I'm a big user of Moonpig, and they specialize in handmade like physical cards as well as e-cards. I'm curious if you've thought about potentially expanding your customer profile into like enterprise, where they don't always have the addresses of the employees, but they still would like to send them an e-card, or do you specifically want to stick with physical cards? Just perfectly fine, by the way.
Yeah, I think I would want to stick with physical cards. And I've experimented with selling like stickers and other like adjacent product categories, but handmade cards are really like where I want to keep my business and I want to grow up from there different types of cards instead of expanding the product categories that I have. Hi.
So, question about your current sales. Can you tell me a little bit about how many customers you're currently engaging with? How many people you're actually customers are buying your product?
Yeah, so right now I have about $1,000 in sales per year, and that has been going up since 2020 when I started. But on Etsy, that's where I get about 25% of my customers. So you could do the math on that, but it is about 25% of that $1,000, so 250 people or orders coming from Etsy, and then 50% is selling in person at marketplaces or craft fairs or places like farmers markets. So that's where I'm really meeting the customers. And then the other 25% is coming from selling bulk cards or selling in person.
One more. You had mentioned some strategic business partners, specifically a nonprofit for, I think, your pet cards. How has that specifically worked out for you? It seems like that would be a pretty lucrative model to kind of take and also be able to give back to a nonprofit that a lot of people may be willing to support. Has that gone really well for you, and were there any lessons you had from that?
Yeah, so I first partnered with them in 2020, and they actually have a shop up in Breckenridge. So one of my goals, another goal that I didn't put on here, would just be to sell my cards in Breckenridge, but then donate all of the profits from that back to that animal shelter. So that's what I've been working on with them. But right now it's mostly just selling those dog and cat themed cards on Etsy. 25% goes back to them, and I donate to them quarterly.
Hello.
Hi.
You had mentioned like the personalization option, and it also sounds like you're selling bulk cards in various locations. What percentage of your business is customized?
So completely customized cards? I would say about 10%. And that's usually people reaching out to me through Etsy, and they're like, hey, I want to make this New Year's card for my family, or I want to make this birthday card for my grandma who's turning 70. How can you incorporate like a dog or the number 70 or anything like this, or her favorite colors? So that's where my completely custom cards are. But then my semi-custom cards are cards that I can make, and I like pre-make them, and the only thing I have to do is circle the date or write the month. And that's where more of my semi-custom card orders are coming from.
Sorry, one more question. I'm curious, you said that you are averaging about $1,000 in sales since you started, and that number's increasing. Have you done any digging into like repeat customers, customers that are purchasing more than one card or more than one card at a time? And how do you engage with those customers as you start to build that base up further?
Yeah, so every time that someone orders from Etsy, I'm not allowed to just add their email to my email list, but I do encourage them through a note to sign up for my email list, and that is where I get a lot of my repeat customers. And then people who are ordering in bulk or in person, those are usually people that I know and are often ordering maybe once a year or once every couple months. Thank you.
All right, we got about 2 minutes to transition, so you can talk amongst yourselves while we get the next presentation up. Okay, you've got about a minute before you have to go.
So it's like chill here for a
We're
minute.
just like chilling, giving
for sure.
everybody a second to.
Is this on?
That's on. Next, we've got Garrett Eisenman with Denver Sneakers.
Hi, how's it going, everybody? My name is Garrett Eisenman. I'm the founder and owner of Denver Sneakers. So imagine you're just scrolling through Instagram and you see all your favorite celebrities and athletes have the brand new Travis Scott Jordans, and you really want a pair, but they cost $3,000. So you start working really hard, you save your money on all your paychecks because you really want these shoes. So you end up finally getting the money, you place an order on your favorite sneaker marketplace, and then you're so excited for them to come, but there's many frustrating delays and fees which take them over a month to arrive. So they finally come, you wear them out for the first day, and someone tells you that they're fake, and you got scammed out of $3,000. Unfortunately, this is a very prevalent problem in the sneaker community right now, and I'm here to fix it. You may be wondering, like, what is the sneaker community, and who's crazy enough to spend $3,000 on some shoes? But the sneaker community all looks at the shoes I sell as more than just something you wear on your feet, and they really look at the history and backstory and why each pair is made the way it is. All these shoes released from big brands like Nike and Adidas for retails of $100 to $200, but the demand is so high, people are willing to camp out for days and then pay price premiums of hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands % to be able to get their hands on these shoes. You may think this industry might be small, but the sneaker resale market is currently worth $10 billion, and it's expected to grow another $20 billion by 2030. There's people all over that buy shoes like this and you don't even know about it. Some of my clients can be professional athletes, rappers, celebrities, or even down to people at my high school. People can be all ages from all different backgrounds and all over the world, but these are my 3 main customer profiles. First is the sneakerhead. The sneakerhead genuinely appreciates the shoes that I sell and looks at each pair as a piece of art and really looks at the backstory and history behind each of them, and they're willing to pay any price for the shoe that they want for their collection. Next is the reseller. Reseller is someone like me that runs a big shoe store or other small resellers, but they know Denver Sneakers has the best value and is very reliable, so I supply them as well. Then there's the hype beast, who looks at the shoes I sell as a status symbol, and they buy it to flex on other people and brag to their friends. So I developed my interest in these shoes when I was about 12 years old, and I started mowing lawns to make money to kind of keep up with my sneaker habit. But then in 2020, I got scammed for $235 for fake sneakers, and I decided I was going to create Denver Sneakers so kids like me would have a reliable place to buy and sell shoes, and they'll have the peace of mind knowing that they're authentic. And now in 2022, Denver Sneakers is highly recognized in the sneaker community, and I sell shoes to sneaker enthusiasts all over the world. So you may be wondering, in this big of an industry, like, why would you buy from Denver Sneakers? So my focus on ethics and my reputation has taken me very far over the past few years, and I built a network of almost 1,000 people that I can source shoes and buy shoes from all over the world. So I have access to every shoe you can think of. So Denver Sneakers is currently the only place on the market where you can source a shoe request. So if you want a shoe and I don't have it in stock, I'll be able to honor that request in less than 24 hours and locate the pair and figure out how to get that to the buyer while making sure the process goes smoothly. This can be if a shoe is very rare, very expensive, or if it released in certain regions of the world that you don't have access to. I also make sure that Denver Sneakers has an authenticity guarantee with a very thorough authentication process, ensuring that every pair is authentic and you have the peace of mind and don't have to worry about being scammed like I was. Denver Sneakers has the best value on the current resale market with very great customer service and frequent communication with the customer to make sure that they're satisfied with their order. And I also restore all shoes to the best possible condition. You're also able to trade in your old pairs that you don't use anymore to go towards the purchase price of your new shoes. I also have the fastest delivery on the market. The current industry standard includes a middleman, which can take several weeks to months to deliver the shoes, and I cut out the middleman. Everything goes directly from Denver Sneakers to the customer, which ensures fastest delivery time. So even though me and traditional sneaker marketplaces sell the same limited edition shoes, the buying experience is very, very different. I invest in customer relationships and make sure I keep frequent communication with everyone to make sure that everyone is satisfied with their purchase. I make sure all my shoes are authentic, all my prices are very competitive, My shipping is very fast, and overall just good experience when you're buying shoes. Over the years, Denver Sneakers has amassed over 5,000 Instagram followers, over 250 positive reviews. Denver Sneakers has more annual sales than any other reseller in Colorado, and I have an excellent reputation with all sales coming from word of mouth, and I've spent no money on advertising. These are my finances. I started Denver Sneakers with $325 of my mowing money, and in 2 years, I've done over $366,000 in sales, with $295,000 being my total expenses. I've made a net profit of $70,000, and which is an average profit margin of 20.7%. This profit margin can vary depending on the pair of shoes, but I've done all this by myself as a junior in high school, taking college civil classes, trying to balance my social life and everything. So I want to make Denver Sneakers the biggest sneaker marketplace in the world, and this is what I'm going to need to get there. I'm asking for $25,000, $15,000 going towards staff support, and $10,000 towards a space expansion. These are real photos from my house, and as you can see, there's a lot of orders going out, which can be very time consuming. So $15,000 towards staff support will give me a year of an employee working 20 hours a week to help respond to messages, restore shoes to their best condition, and help pack orders. So this will make sure that Denver Sneakers still has the fastest processing time, best customer service, fastest response time, and it will also give me more time to buy shoes and source shoes for other clients to lead to more sales in the future. And then $10,000 towards a space expansion. I've taken over the guest room, the basement, my room, the third stall garage of my parents' house, and so I think this $10,000 will make them more happy than me. It's going towards a shared warehouse space, so I'll have more space to pack orders and keep my inventory. Thank you for listening and helping making Denver Sneakers the best.
First of all, awesome drum. You're talking to a fellow sneakerhead.
Nice.
I'm from New York, so it's hard not to be a sneakerhead. I'm curious, two questions. One, in the reseller community, you hear a lot of people talk about like guaranteed authenticity. Can you share a little bit more about what your authentication process looks like and how you verify from the distributors or whoever you're getting the shoes from? What does that process look like, and how do you ensure it's consistent for every pair of shoes that you sell through Denver Sneakers?
So all my let me go back to the slide to kind of show you where. So there's a lot of inconsistencies on shoes. So you can see all the different, I go through all these and then more inside the shoe as well. Just basically a lot of the competitors and bigger brands that offer an authenticity guarantee, they more just say that this one competitor, StockX, they actually just got sued by Nike for selling counterfeits. So they try to authenticate them cheaply. I want to really focus on to make sure that that guarantee holds up and that I'm able to thoroughly authenticate everything. So there's like over a 50-step process for every shoe, just going into every little detail, which takes it's time consuming, but I think it's worth it to make sure that the customer's satisfied.
A follow-up question. In terms of like customer spending habits or any data that you've gathered, do you tend to see that certain types of shoes or models of shoes, or if it's Jordans or Nikes or Dunks, like getting specific, are people gravitating towards purchasing more of one than the other? And how do you kind of balance the type of shoes that you are selling on a consistent basis?
So it's really just like a social thing, what's happening on Instagram, what all the famous people are wearing, and just what's kind of cool at the time. So if there's a new release and everybody's talking about it, I make sure I have people who can get me those shoes and I can stock up on them. And then if I see another thing is a lot of people are talking about, I just make sure that I have it in stock and on deck for when people want it.
When I moved here, I noticed Nike Dunks were super popular again. So
Yeah, very, very.
Hi, super interesting. I have no idea this existed. But I have a question. Do all the shoes come through you before they go to whoever's buying them?
They do, yeah. There was a lot of people that I think wouldn't want to scam people that did scamming people. So I make sure that everything goes through me. Everything is verified, authentic. Everything is restored to its best condition before it goes out to the buyer. Yeah, shipping cost is in my total expenses.
Sorry, because I'm a big sneakerhead.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys, and like obviously your profit margin is 20%. Have you ever considered buying them for yourself and then reselling it? That's where you make more of a margin.
Yeah, it's really really hard to buy shoes for retail because of the high demand. So I was actually looking at text messages with my mom 3 years ago. She waited outside IKEA for 6 hours to get me a rug. But these are real photos from like sneaker release lines. It's supposed for Yeezys in 2017. So it's really hard to get your hands on a pair for retail. So I usually do end up buying in bulk from people that either bought the websites or something like that. But I don't pay the full resale price, but I do usually end up paying above retail for them.
Sorry, the follow-up question. Ever considered a thought for you and then joining online?
Yeah, I have.
A lot of people do that.
I have done. I used to do that for a little bit, but it's just the newer releases. There's a lot of bots, and it's getting really competitive. And just for the price and time it takes, I could focus on it in the future, but for right now, I'm just kind of reselling. Yeah.
How much of your time are you spending to check through everything? And on average, what do you think your actual hourly take-home pay is?
Like for finding shoes.
For finding, cleaning, shipping them out, you're making roughly 70K annually. How much time are you actually spending to do that? Are you doing that for 40 hours a week? Is it more
Yeah.
like 10? Like, what does that kind of look like for you?
Yeah, so the 70 was over the past 2 years as well, but it has grown exponentially. So the majority of that was this year. But I would say I'm working about 30 to 40 hours a week, like between responding to messages, cleaning, shipping, just like everything together.
Hey Garrett, nice job.
Thank you.
So, quick question, kind of following up on that man's question over there about the profit margin. Do you have any ideas on your roadmap of how you're going to increase that profit margin, like timeline or anything like that?
Yeah, so I have built more connections recently with people that do buy bulk off these releases. Either they know people or they work at Nike and get employee pairs, or I know a lot more people now. So I am starting to. It really varies on the shoe, and some outliers could be it's a $15,000 shoe, but I only make 5% on it, which will really bring down my margins in total. But so a lot of the smaller shoes I do make higher, like 40 to 50%, and then the kind of higher ticket items, the smaller profit margins, I'm looking for a way to increase them, but right now I haven't found anything.
Sweet, thank you. And one more question. Have you heard of the platform called GOAT?
I have, yeah.
Okay, cool. So would you be like a third-party reseller on that platform, or what's your competitive advantage against something like that?
I typically don't sell on GOAT because there's a lot of problems with sellers and buyers. A lot of people have said GOAT has gotten their shoes and then never paid them. And a lot of GOAT shoes, they say they're used, but they don't really accurately describe the condition. So a lot of people have gotten shoes from GOAT and they've either been fake or have had a lot of problems with them and that weren't described when they bought them originally, and GOAT won't refund them or anything like that. Yeah.
One follow-up question. I'm curious, what does your kind of customer journey look like? Are you dealing with people who are more in the hypebeast category that just want to see what's hot and poppin' and want to buy a pair of sneakers, or are you dealing with people who are specifically looking for something to see if you carry it?
I would say about 9 out of 10 times it's something that I buy and I post on my Instagram story, and then someone will swipe up within about 5 to 10 minutes and say, I want it. Everything moves that I post on my story before the 24 hours is over. And then I would say about 1 out of every 10 times it's someone saying, it's usually a pretty high value shoe, like if they need me to find it for them, that they say, like, I need this. So one time I had to get shoes imported from South Korea and they went to India. So it's like, yeah, I would say that's about 1 out of 10 times I have to go find something for someone, but usually I buy it off someone trying to sell it and then I post on my Instagram.
Okay, this is my final question. Just because I literally am in the shoes of a consumer and I'm like, well,
Yeah, yeah.
so he asked about profit margins, and you mentioned that right now you don't pay any money for advertising. Have you ever thought about creating kind of a culture of like a weekly release or a drop where people are paying like a monthly like subscription to be a part of that and you drop whatever sneakers that you have in the newsletter versus on social and anybody can see it, so you can kind of not only make money on the shoes but also monetize the community that you're building around the sneaker culture.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my business mentor about that like 2 weeks ago. About I was looking this. Don't take my word for this right now because I'm just looking into the options. But I was thinking about making a monthly subscription service, and it would give you like exclusive info that I have on any releases, and then I would have like monthly steals or shoes that I sell for the price that I pay, and then I would be making my money from the monthly subscription and not off the shoe itself.
We'll have another 2 minutes or so to transition, and then we'll have our last
Thank you.
presenter. Yes, please. What's your room? Okay. And then here's your. Okay. Okay, we'll start back here again. She's gotta call her name. What? She's gotta call her name. Oh. Yellow sign when you have 2 minutes left to go, and then a red when you want to kind of like wrap it up. We're not going to cut you off though, just so that you have an awareness of timing. Okay. All right, for our last business today is Little Sisters Treats.
I'm Zaire. And I'm Charlize. And we are Little Sisters Treats. Today we want to tell you about our business. It started when I was 4 years old and I wanted my own ice cream truck. My teacher told me that I could not have that at all when I told her it was my dream. And she said, no, I couldn't do that. And I told her wrong with this business. And when I was 4 years old, I showed my mom a piece of paper that had flavors on it. And she's like, wait, where's the prices? So I put the prices on there, and the prices were pretty expensive. And now we are doing our own business, and we want to tell you all about it. Our problem now in the 5 Points area, there is a lack of diversity in kids and black people, and there's really no businesses with black people that are owning them. And we want to fix that with this business here. And doing this, we will show other people that kids can do a lot of things.
our solution? Our solution is that we want our own food truck and we want to hire our own staff. And to inspire other young girls to be their own CEO people. Sorry.
When we get our food truck, we will be very happy about it because when we get it with the $50,000, we will be able to go all around the United States and Colorado to sell our treats in pop-ups in different places.
We also were on Good Morning America, David Mayer Nightly News, and more. We also were on OCN Eats, and etc.
Our story. Our grandma came down from Quincy, Illinois, and she taught us how to make Rice Krispie treats. And it's all in our recipe. She came down and she taught us about cinnamon rolls, and they were pretty delicious. And she was the one who inspired us with our recipes, and other people think that our recipes are pretty delicious too. Our plan for success. What?
This is our storefront. This is our part of our design of what our food truck is gonna look like. And our food truck we want so we can travel all around the world and have
Other people eat our food. Our marketing plan. Now, as you can see here, our social media, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. That's how we show other people all about us. It has our story on the front page, and the person that helped us with that was CSB Branding, Cornerstone Branding. They helped us with our logo also. It actually has a lot of things put into it. It has our faces in our logo, like right here. And it was actually a 2-week process just to make them. Current team and plan for staffing.
So when we get our food truck, we want to hire our staff, and they will be getting paid a minimum wage of $17, and we want to
have our Aunt Georgie to come down and teach our staff, and she's their supervisor, so that they can learn about our business and see what we can do there, and see what they're gonna do and how they will learn how to cook our food. This is our products. Our products are very delicious, and they are delicious all around the world. People really want to buy them, and our products are jams, cookies, cheesecake cones. Cheesecake cones are our main product, and that's how we started our business. As I said, it started when I was 4 years old, and we had an idea for this business.
And we also have Rice Krispie treats, pies, merchandise, and seasonal items.
And our merchandise, we have cups, bottles, socks, aprons that say Little CEO, and different ideas for kids so they can have their own inspiration for their business. This is our menu. We will be selling cinnamon rolls, cupcakes, pies, cookies, and our merch. Questions and answers.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Wait. Sorry. Last year, we made a profit of $30,000, and we spent about $8,000, and our profit margin is about 76%.
Could you imagine what we could do for our food truck? we would be able to hire our staff and buy our food truck. And now we would like to end it off with our jingle. 1, 2, 3.
Sisters, sisters, we've got the cones. Whenever you eat them, you've got soul.
Now for questions and answers.
First off, great job. I know it can be really intimidating to present in front of a group of people, but it sounds like you guys are pros at it.
Thank you.
I love the concept. I did have a question. You mentioned a food truck a couple of times, but the presentation showed a mock-up for a storefront. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
The storefront, it was our custom idea. We wanted like pink stripes, white stripes, flowers in the front so it can have our vision of what we had in our head.
So are you wanting the storefront first or the food truck?
The food
The
truck.
food truck first. The storefront is what we're going to have in the future.
Thank you, well done. So you mentioned that you had $30,000 worth of sales this last year, is that correct?
Yes.
Great. Can you tell me how you're selling those current products?
We sell our products out in pop-ups from different places. We go to like the Remix and stuff.
And our website.
Our website is www.littlesisterstreats.com.
Thank you. So are you, like, the whole menu that you showed and all the merchandise and everything, are you selling all of that already?
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, awesome job. It makes me so happy to see you both setting an example. I believe the saying, you can't be what you can't see, so I want y'all to know that you have a community supporting you. I'm curious, you talked about all of the different menu items that you are selling already. Have you thought about kind of concerting your efforts around attending local farmers markets or talking with mom and pop stores, like grocery stores here in
Yes.
Colorado that are not chains? How have those discussions gone?
They've gone pretty good. Some of the people have rejected us, but we're still going. We're not going to give up.
As you should.
Great job. So quick question, which of the products do you think, which one of your, okay, so 2 questions, sorry. Thinking on the spot. So how much of that 30,000 is from merch and how much is it from food? Because the branding on your merchandise is so good. So
Thank you.
The prices, it was pretty much from the food, and the merch, it actually happened this year.
amazing. So only more profit is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then which food product do customers like most?
Our cheesecake cones.
Okay, cool.
And the second best is the Rice Krispies.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Where's our cheesecake from? Follow-up question for the people who are buying your things. Have you identified any demographics, so their age range, societal classes, things like that, to kind of narrow down your target audience and who's actually buying from you?
Everyone. Some people have called from like other countries, other states, cities. Like New York CBS Branding, they ordered from us and we shipped it. Christmas, we shipped everything. Someone ordered from Kentucky or something. It was out of nowhere. I don't know.
So are most of your sales coming from out of state or here in Colorado?
Here in Colorado.
Okay. And have you narrowed down who in Colorado? Is it all Denver? Is it people in the area you live in?
It's in the area we live in. We ship a 10-mile radius.
Okay.
I know you mentioned
Yes, we have. So when we meet people, we tell them to follow or check out our website so they know who we are. And so social media has been a big deal because people are really like asking us like, do you do birthday parties or a lot and a lot of other stuff like yeah, just like asking if we do catering, which we did on a wedding, and the caterers there sucked. Just saying.
We were probably the best audience there. You're welcome.
I'm going to invite my judges to take all of your notes. I'm going to have you come up to the panelist room to have your discussion. I'm going to limit you to 10 minutes. Hopefully that should be enough. So we'll reconvene when you guys are finished. Feel free, audience members, to network, meet our contestants, meet each other, and we'll come back and have our winner. Thank you so much. Decide. All right, do my judges want to come up to the front? That would be preferable so everyone can see you. Do I have one who's gonna? Yes, you can actually, you can get those. I'll put them in here and then pass them out. Great, thank you. All right, who's gonna be my speaker?
Okay. Should I just start? Okay. How's everybody doing? All right, can I just get like a woo, a clap, like clap it up? So first off, it was a very hard decision. We want to say to the three, teams that pitched, y'all did a wonderful job. It's so cool to see young people like doing their thing and understanding the value that they want to create. We were literally chatting in the room, like, what were we doing when we were your age? Like, this is incredible. But we are excited to announce, after some consideration, we felt that this team, although has some work to do in terms of pitching and ensuring that they know exactly how to convey the value of what they're trying to do in the market that they're trying to address, we felt the team with the most promise is Little Sisters Treats. So we want to congratulate you. That is not to detract from Garrett or Anna. I think that y'all had wonderful pitches. The one thing that we will mention to you both is, especially as you move on to the next pitch competition, is really take some time to not just practice your pitch script, but go through it and detach yourself. Think about, if I am hearing for Little Sisters Treats the first time, what are the main points that I want to convey? How do I want to engage my customer? I think that's going to be really important as you prepare for Thursday. But congratulations to the three of you. Y'all are great. And personally, I would love to stay in touch because I think the three of you are doing really wonderful things. So thanks so much, everyone.